switched off here. So I hope you like the video which has been made by Remo recently. And if you want to read more about why he came up with this video called India, I Cry For You, you can read more about it on the citizen reporting portal that we've created, a news portal called idishum.com. It's hard-hitting news. But one of the things which Remo and I share in common is our theory that nobody in government, nobody in the bureaucracy, or people in power, or people in business have let the country down. We truly believe that the citizens of India have let the country down. The reason being, the apathy is huge. And one of the the core mission that iCONGO has set upon is trying to create that attitudinal change within people to say, it's not about giving a little money. It's not about, just donating and thinking that you made a difference, because you can't make a difference in a child's life by giving 5,000 or 10,000 rupees for 2 or 3 years. You need to get involved with the process and understand what are the issues that are plaguing your nation and take it from there. I was asked to speak on the youth as social transformers, and I have been listening to the various deliberations which have happened since morning. And what I've kind of done is created a presentation which basically I kind of tried to create a presentation which would provoke a thought process with the youth and the various delegates over here. And I'm thankful to Professor Amarjit Khalsa to have called me and invited me to speak to the people over here. I've called the presentation Youth Icons versus a Generation of Social Transformers. I chose this topic because years ago when I was in the media and entertainment business, I was advisor with MTV, and we created something called the MTV Youth Icon. And then I said, I don't want to associate myself with this, and I want to disown this process, because they chose a youth icon who was not a youth icon. And I said, why? They said, because they advertise a lot on MTV. I said, that's not the question. That's not the whole idea of a youth icon. A youth icon has to be somebody who inspires the youth. Not just a person who's a figurehead because he's popular with people or because he's celebrated by the media. So this is what I'm going to take you through. To start with, I would like all of you to stand up for a minute in solidarity for Satish Shetty, who was killed around a fortnight ago. I'm sure, how many of you know about the case? Observe a 2 minute silence, 1 minute silence. Okay, thank you. Tell you a little about Satish Shetty. I didn't know the man personally. I used to only get his mails regularly and knew about the good work he was doing. And then I got to know about how he was hacked to death one morning around a fortnight ago by 3 people who have been arrested. But the brother works for a finance company, and one brother is in the US with an IT company. But Satish Shetty made it his mission to fight for the people of India and try to uncover various scams, and because of that he had to pay with his life. We started a signature campaign for him on idishum.com, which is the first citizen reporting news portal. We only have socio-political issues. You won't find anything about Aishwarya's left toe or Amitabh's wig over here. It's only serious socio-political matters. Yeah. So if you are interested in justice for Satish Shetty, please log in and sign up. The video that you saw, Remo and I first kind of came together when we were doing the campaign for saving Goa from the SEZs. A lot of people in business and government talk about wealth creation. For them, the only thing, what they mean about wealth creation is paper money. Now, paper money at the cost of losing all your natural resources is a no-no. Because what will you do with paper money when you have no water to drink and no air to breathe? Yeah. So the first movement which was done in Goa against the SEZs was led by a young doctor called Dr. Oscar Ribeiro, and Remo and all of us were a part of it. And it was called the Save Goa Andolan. Yeah? And the people of Goa, at least the concerned citizens, came together and said, we don't want SEZs in Goa because this is going to spoil the very environment of Goa. Now, a majority of Goans did not want the stay order on the SEZs. They wanted the SEZs to happen because they felt that their property prices would escalate because of the SEZs, including my family members, my uncles and aunties. They were like, why are you part of this movement? This is going to improve Goa. And we were like, no, this is not going to improve Goa, because this is going to spoil the haven called Goa, which today your entire economy is based on tourism, and tomorrow when SEZs come in, you won't have that economy. And why do you want to spoil the haven where you're rich with natural resources by just letting it go to the SEZs? So the only place in India where there's a stay order in SEZs, led by a people movement, young citizens who came together and said, we don't want SEZs in Goa because of various reasons. It's on the net, please go ahead and read it. Yeah. How many of you know about the first uprising in India? Please put your hands up. Where was the first uprising in India? Can someone please answer? Let's make this a little interactive. Sorry? Where? Meerut, 1857. Is that right? You see, history itself in India is twisted. The first uprising was done in a place called Asolna Veli Kunkoni, the same land where I hail from. And I'm proud to be part of the clan. And it was 16 tribes, Gaunkars as they were called. All the men folk were taken and murdered and thrown into a well because they wanted to convert the public. Yeah? So that was the first uprising in Goa. How many of you know the meaning of democracy? Tell me. Right. Can you just give me the dictionary meaning of it?
Ruled by the people.
People power. It comes from a Greek word, demos and kratos. Demos is people and kratos is power. But show me the people power in India. It's lacking. It's not there. Why? Because of citizen apathy. How many of you know the meaning of republic? Hands? Yes? I can see a hand up there. Okay, republic means people rule. Yeah? And India is probably the only place which has an Independence Day and a Republic Day. But the only place also where citizen apathy is huge. We don't participate in the process. We don't question governance. We don't question and ask for accountability. All our taxpayers' money is going waste. Nobody knows where it's going. I toured rural India extensively. I just came back from a place called Jalgaon, Dhule and Vidarbha, where farmers are committing suicide. 70,000 crores was pledged as farmer waivers by Mr. Chidambaram as a run into the elections so that, you sway the vote. But I met the farmers there. Less than 10% of the 70,000 crores has been disbursed, and I saw farmers who got checks of 265 rupees as farmer waivers. 265 rupees won't buy you a meal in this hotel. They've lost their houses, lost their land, they've got 500 rupees. So this is the way governance and our taxpayers' money works in India. In Rajasthan, I went to government schools where children were given rice which was cooked in turmeric powder and chili powder. The board outside says midday meals, sabji, dal, chawal. The community of teachers itself is scamming the money. 30 children were in school, they were showing 75 children plus on the register, on the attendance register. 2 rupees 60 paisa scam. The 2 rupees 60 paisa scam. The midday meals which are being given in urban India, which are not fit for dogs to eat. That's your taxpayers' money. You don't need to give money to any charity. You need to ask for accountability for your taxpayers' money. And I hope the younger generation does that, because my generation, I'm 39 years old, has lost it. So if you ask for taxpayers' money, India is probably the only country where we pay tax, we pay cess on tax, and we pay cess on cess. So where is the money going? Is there any accountability? No. We just think that we have good people in power. We are happy without asking for accountability. And it's showing on the ground because kids are being given bad food. The farmers are not getting their rights. Who all in this room pay tax? A lot of students think they don't pay tax. You're not working, right? Well, everybody pays tax. Even a beggar on the road pays tax. So people in power are even accountable to the beggar on the road. Because when you buy something, you pay tax. When you do anything in this country, you pay tax. When you fly, in Jet Airways or Kingfisher, you pay something called the congestion tax. They hover around in air, wasting your time, and then they tax you for it. This is what is happening in government today because of bad governance. Inefficient systems, inefficient management. You need good management. You need the youngsters to come into politics. You need the youngsters to come into the social sector, question things. That's the only thing which is going to reclaim democracy as a people power. This is my definition, which I borrow from Henry Louis Mencken. Democracy is also a form of worship. It is the worship of jackals by jackasses. In Goa, we have two simple words. We say Shinkon Bruth. After all the education that we have got, we are still ignorant idiots. Why? Because we don't participate in the process of democracy. We don't participate in the process of franchise. We don't understand how the franchise, how the electorate works. So how can we have a democracy? When 80% of your population is uneducated, they don't know whom to vote for, they just swayed by false promises. There were televisions given in a place in Tamil Nadu to a village which had no power. It's a joke, cruel joke. You know? And you sway the entire democratic process. You twist the process. Republics are brought to their ends by luxury, monarchies by poverty. We are supposed to have abolished monarchy, but today look at what's happening in the republic. The great Indian middle class, the so-called educated class, is busy running after the BMWs and the Mercedeses and the Louis Vuittons and the Gucci designer stuff that we wear. But we don't want to participate in the process. I remember Remo telling me, he said, I spoke to one fellow villager and I said, Baba, who are you going to vote for? He said, I'm going to vote for that guy. I won't name the people for being politically correct. So he said, why are you voting for him? He's a gunda, he's a British smuggler. Why are you voting for him? Why aren't you voting for Professor Saab? He's a good man. With Professor you can't do anything, you know. Because if I vote for Professor tomorrow, I won't be able to get any work done. With the other guy, you know, give him some money, the work is done. That's citizen corruption. We have corrupted the system. How many of us will stand in a line for a passport or a driving license? We'll pay it out and get our work done. We pay capitation fees to get our kids into school, so we're corrupting our kids from the very beginning. Surprise. But that's what it is, citizen corruption. We'll stand in line. I remember when McDonald's opened in Bombay, there were 3-kilometer long lines to eat a McDonald's burger. That's the great Indian public. Educated public in Bandra in Bombay, main metro, standing in line to eat a McDonald's burger. My God, what nonsense is this? But they won't stand in line to get a passport. Shortcut, pay 5,000 bucks, get it done. Pay 2,000 bucks to the tout, get your license done. So why blame people in government? Why blame anybody? You are to blame. It's the same thing in the US. That's another big democracy, right? On lines, you'll get a whole lot of pictures of it. Democracy does not work because people are not responsible. Okay, sorry. Used to the screen. If the party leadership wants, then I'm ready for it. Nice man, I like him. Whenever I speak to friends, they say, cute chap, lovely dimples. Well, become a Hollywood star. But the point is, with all my liking for him, I don't want to question the process because I'm a citizen of India. What has he done to become Prime Minister of India? Why is my country being passed on from father to daughter to son to son? Are we a surrogate monarchy or are we a democracy? Ask yourselves this question. Nothing against him. But are there no leaders in this country? That we need to pass it on to the same dynasty time after time? Where are the people leaders? Where is it a democracy? You must be knowing this to people here. I don't know what to say. I can't say I like them, I can't say anything. Think about it. We woke up when 26/11 happened, came out in our Gucci's and designer way with candles because the terror attack had happened to the great Indian middle class. Nobody came to their rescue. These people ran haywire, creating hatred and beating up people. And mind you, it's not just happening in Maharashtra, it's happening across the country. The biggest issue this country is